Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Egal Talks About. We're back again with another video. Leroy Sané to Arsenal. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. So before you guys don't know, let me just tell you guys where this rumor originally came from and what the reports are, as it came from Paul Joyce, The Telegraph, and of course, it's a Liverpool journalist who reports this news first. I don't really know if we can take too much of this uh, serious. We got to take it with a grain of salt, but of course, we still have to speak about it in itself. So before we go any further, please do hit that like button, please do hit that subscribe button, and let's look at what we're talking about here. Leroy Sané. Arsenal are showing strong interest in signing Leroy Sané. Let's go to what Greg Jacobs tweeted. Greg Jacobs tweeted that Arsenal target Leroy Sané as they close in on Martin Zubimendi. So we know the Martin Zubimendi deal is going to be close to being done. There's not too much on that, but Leroy Sané, in case you guys don't know, Leroy Sané right now is 29 years old. He's playing at Bayern Munich. And my question to you guys is, does Leroy Sané to Arsenal make sense? Is this something that you guys think we should actually do? Are you guys for it, or are you guys against it? Now, Leroy Sané, I don't know how much money he would go for, but he has rejected to sign a new deal at Bayern Munich. He's out of contract next month and has several options, as he could potentially leave on a free next season and join Arsenal now and emerge as one of the club options for him, of course. But he came from Man City. He previously worked with Mikel Arteta in Manchester. So this is another reason why Arteta might be interested in him. But I do think it's lazy journalism. I do think Andre Berta, the new Arsenal sporting director, would definitely not want to do a similar situation to Raheem Sterling or what do you call it, Willian again. He's probably going to want to go and get a top striker and probably go get a solid winger. But I just don't think Leroy Sané makes sense for us at this moment in time. I don't know why we would go for Leroy Sané. I think this is more of the fact that Leroy Sané, Arsenal have made inquiries in him in the past. Arsenal have made inquiries in for Leroy Sané last summer. But because we didn't get him last summer does not mean we're going to now be interested in getting him this summer. But Leroy Sané does give you some interesting options if we did go for him, because Leroy Sané is capable of playing in many different positions. For example, Leroy Sané can play on the left, he can play on the right, and he can play in the attacking midfield. He is one of those guys who is a Swiss Army knife. He's played over 45 games for Bayern Munich this season, and he got 13 goals, 6 assists. Overall, his injury record as of late has been a little bit better, if I'm not mistaken. He has been very much injury free, if I'm not mistaken, and he's been a decent piece to Bayern Munich. He's not one of those guys who's going to be a mainstay week in, week out. Producing to a high level, but he's steady Eddie, consistent. And is this what we're looking for? I don't think so. I think Arsenal, we have to be honest here. We have to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. We do need squad depth. We do need players that we can bring in. Is Leroy Sané the answer? I don't think so. I don't want another 29-year-old walking into this team that's going to be sitting on his bench stealing a wage. And don't get me wrong, I think Leroy Sané in his day was a good player, and maybe he could offer something for us. But I just don't think we should be making signings like Leroy Sané, Raheem Sterling, Willian. We should stay clear of these guys who are in and around 30 coming into the team. We should be going for younger players who don't have as much. Would it be baggage? I don't know. By the way, his contract runs out this year, so you can get him on a free, plus you can still go and sign a winger. So it depends. But what doesn't make sense to me is Arsenal gave Trossard a new deal. Arsenal still have Martinelli. Arsenal are also looking to get another winger. If we get Leroy Sané on a free and that's our only winger option this summer, I am going to be upset. Plus, don't forget we have Ethan. Plus, don't forget we still have Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz, and all these other guys. So I don't think Leroy Sané to Arsenal makes the most sense, in my opinion. We should go for a Nico Williams. We should go for a Rodrigo. We should go for a Leal before we even look at Leroy Sané, in my opinion. The 29-year-old German is still a good player, but I don't think he's of the caliber to be starting for us week in, week out, and taking us to the level that we need to get to. There's a reason why Bayern Munich want better, even though they're trying to give him a deal that is favorable to them and he doesn't want to sign it. I just don't think, maybe if you guys are saying squad depth wise, he could be reasonable, fair, but I still also need another winger. I can't say we bring in Leroy Sané, that's our only wing option this summer. We'll focus on the striker and other positions. No. I think that's a little bit of a letdown. I think that would be a disappointment. I think if we did that, I would look at the club and I would say to myself, are we serious? Are we serious if we go for Leroy Sané? Leroy Sané on a free sounds good. But I think the former Man City boy might end up at Tottenham. I think this is just, he's being linked to Arsenal. It's lazy journalism. I don't think we're serious about it. And Arsenal do seem like a club that we're interested in the past, but it does look like Tottenham and Daniel Levy are circulating Leroy Sané potentially on a free, joining them. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. In my opinion, the German international is still a decent player. I wouldn't say he's a bad player at all. I do think it could make sense, but I would stay clear. I would go for someone with a little bit more, younger with more scope to improve. And could he be a backup for Bukayo Saka? Could he be rotation for Bukayo Saka? Yes, but in the same breath, are we looking for rotation or are we looking for somebody who's going to come in and make a big change? I don't know. I don't know if Arsenal is going to actually sign Leroy Sané. Maybe we have strong interest, maybe we don't, but Leroy Sané has been offered to Tottenham by Bayern. These rumors have happened, so I'm just going to wait and see where this goes and if there's actual truth behind it or not. Because in my opinion, it does just seem like one of those rumors that are floating around and you can't really take too serious. But yeah, Leroy Sané to Arsenal. Let me know what you guys think. Would you take him at Arsenal? Do you think this is fake news? And could this just be rage bait to try to get Arsenal fans to lose their mind? Let me know. I personally think it's lazy journalism. I don't think Leroy Sané is actually going to be joining Arsenal. And I just do think these kind of stories, we're going to hear about them all summer. So try to understand and keep your head level-headed. Anyways, guys, we're out of here. Catch you guys in the next video. Love for the love. Peace.